Hello my friends, today's video is going to be sort of the unofficial continuation of a video that I did a couple of months ago on the best and worst places to buy Hermes bags Preloved, which if you have not seen that, I'll make sure to have it linked down below for you in the info box because I do think that these two videos go hand in hand. But anyway, today we're going to be discussing which Hermes bags you should and which ones you should not buy on the Preloved market. We'll discuss what things I would look out for, which are the Hermes bags that in my opinion are a waste of money getting outside of the boutique, and which ones you can actually save some money on. And then we'll of course move on to briefly chatting about how I would go about authenticating a bag that you didn't buy directly from Hermes. So without further ado, if you'd like to hear everything that I have to say about getting an Hermes bag pre-loved and how you can get your hands on your dream Birkin or Kelly bag without virtually any wait time, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and keep on watching. Again, if you'd like an introduction to buying Hermes pieces pre-loved, my thoughts on buying Hermes bags and accessories on the pre-loved market, which retailers I would trust and which ones I would personally not turn to, make sure to have part 1 link down below for you, because today we're going to be really specific. We're going to be talking about the bags that I would actually pick up pre-loved, which ones I would not, and when you find a bag that you like, what are the details that I would like for you to pay attention to. And then I'll also have a surprise giveaway in this video at one point, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's jump straight in because we have quite a few bags to go through. And why don't we start with talking about some Birkins. So which are the Birkin and Kelly bags that can actually save you some money getting them on the pre-loved market. Obviously, you do not have to spend any money. You don't have to spend money to save money. But if you have your eyes on a larger Birkin or a larger Kelly bag, getting them from the pre-loved market might be a good idea for a couple of reasons. Number one, larger bags, and here we're talking about Birkin 35s and above and Kelly 32s and above, you can actually save thousands of dollars by getting one of these bags pre-loved instead of getting them from the boutique. And why is that? Obviously because larger bags are just not the hottest thing right now. There isn't as much demand for these bags as there is for smaller creations. And while Hermes' prices are based on how much raw materials, how much work goes into each one of their creations, the pre-loved market bases their prices on demand and supply, and there just simply isn't that much demand for larger bags, at least not on the pre-loved market. So if there's a larger bag that you've been eyeing, it might be a good time right now to get them pre-loved, because honestly you can save thousands and thousands of dollars on some of these pieces, even pieces in great condition. So if you see any picture in this video that you love, make sure that you check out my info box because I will try to link to the specific bags down below for you, or you can of course go ahead and do your own research. But anyway, going back to the bags, getting larger bags can not only save you some money, but it might also allow you to get not only one bag or two bags, and here I'm talking about Birkins and Kellys within 1 year, but you might be able to get 3 and 4, because if you get these pieces outside of the boutique, you can still get bags directly from the store. So if you are eyeing a larger bag, but you would also like to get your hands on a smaller bag and you don't want to pay the upcharge, you might still be able to get a couple of bags from Hermes in smaller sizes, especially if you already have an established relationship with the brand. So if you do want a Birkin 35, but you also want, let's say, a Birkin 25, trying to get a Birkin 25 directly from the boutique and a larger bag from a reseller or from the pre-loved market, but please do make sure that you always go to one that you can fully trust, can not only save you some money, but you're also saving your chance of getting a bag that would be much more difficult for you to hunt down. And talking about rare pieces, buying collectible bags can also be a great idea, especially when it comes to bags that have been discontinued. Those are definitely pieces that you can get on the pre-loved market. Now do keep in mind that you are going to pay quite a high premium in some cases, but let's say you don't have an established relationship with the brand, but there is a certain bag that you want to hunt down, let's say a Himalaya or a Birkin Faubourg. Are you going to be paying 3, 4, 5, even sometimes 6 times the price of the bag, or how much it would cost you if you bought it directly from the boutique? Yes, you are, but at the same time, you are going to be paying just as much, if not even more, to establish a relationship with the brand that would qualify you for getting considered for one of these bags, because these pieces are so rare that even your Hermes boutique will probably get one or two of them within 1 year, and at that point they have to decide who these bags should go to, and obviously they're going to choose people who they have a long-standing really good relationship with. And if that's not you, this might be your best bet and your fastest way of getting your hands on one of these bags. Now, if you would like to build a long-term relationship with Hermes, forget about this tip. If you are planning on getting one of these bags and this is one of your dream bags and you don't mind sort of working your way up to getting one of these bags directly from the boutique, just go ahead and do that. But if there's nothing else that you're interested in, getting a collectible bag, especially one that has been discontinued, obviously something that you can check out on the pre-loved market. But just make sure, again, I have to emphasize this, but I want to make sure that you only buy from brands and retailers that you can fully trust. The next group of bags that I would suggest looking into getting pre-loved are either discontinued bags or bags that never really took off. So let me give you a few examples here. The first bag that came to mind was the Socali bag, which I honestly have no idea why this bag isn't more popular than it actually is, but I rarely, if ever, hear anyone talking about this bag. I could count on one hand how many times I've seen someone carrying this bag, which is kind of surprising because it does feature the Cali twist closure, and anytime Hermes slaps that closure on something, you know that bag will sell out. Now, obviously, this bag has been discontinued, but you can still find these on the pre-loved market at pretty incredible prices. So if you love a bucket, it's almost like a bucket bag meets a hobo bag. If you're looking for a simple laid back casual bag that obviously features the iconography of Hermes, is made of the most defined pieces of leather and is put together like a piece of art, as all of Hermes' bags are, this might be a great bag for you to look into. The Bolide bag is another one of those bags, which obviously is still very much in production, but those you can find at amazing prices. When we talk about newer bags, the Della Cavalleria bag, I don't know why, but that I still see it here and there. It's sometimes in windows. I've seen it on display too. But for some reason, that never became one of those super hot, hard to get bags. So obviously, it is going to cost you a little bit more getting one of those bags pre-loved compared to getting it from the boutique, but not nearly as much as I would have thought. So if you're looking for a newer design, that is also something that you can look into getting pre-loved if you don't want to go down the route of getting it directly from the boutique. Maybe you cannot get it because your store didn't buy it or they are not receiving it. But if that is a bag that you would like to get your hands on, you can find it at pretty reasonable prices. But going back to bags that you will actually save money by buying pre-loved, the Victoria bag is another one of those pieces which I personally do love. The Victoria bag is one of those classic, timeless, understated bags. If you want a bag that no one will know that it's Hermes unless they know the brand, and even if they do, I don't think most people will recognize this bag unless they feel the leather, they feel the quality, because it does look like $1,000,000 without it screaming and shouting the brand name. The Victoria bag is also a good one to look into. I'm trying to think what else. The Double Suns bag, which is a large oversized tote that is actually reversible, you can pick up for, I almost said pennies, which is not the case. These bags are still thousands and thousands of dollars, which is a ridiculous amount of money to spend on a bag. But compared to how much it would cost you to get it directly from the boutique, even if you can, it is a pretty decent price drop. So the Double Suns is also one of those pieces. And then also the G.P.S bag, which the G.P.S bag is, it's a little known fact, but the G.P.S bag was also designed by Jean-Paul Gaultier. Obviously, Jean-Paul Gaultier designed some of the most iconic bags in Hermes' history. He reinterpreted the Birkin bag into the Birkin So Black, the Birkin Shadow, the Birkin Shoulder. He designed just so many noteworthy, just really fun and creative takes on some of our favorite bags. Yet, not many people know that the G.P.S was also his brainchild, and I think it is a beautiful casual bag. Anytime I see that bag on someone, I'm blown away by how much it actually adds to an outfit. But because of all the work that goes into one of those bags, the craftsmanship, the fact that it does feature the HAC closure, which, you know, anytime Hermes puts an HAC or a Cali closure on something, the price will skyrocket. Those bags, I think, were six, seven, maybe even $8,000 directly from the boutique, depending on what leather you pick them up in and which size you chose. But on the pre-loved market, you can find them at pretty decent prices. But if I can give you one pro tip, get that bag as soon as you can or whenever you find one that you're happy with, because Hermes is launching a mini G.P.S pretty much any day now. I'm not sure exactly when it's launching, but it should honestly be any day now. And I can tell you that as soon as the first one pops up on Instagram, as soon as the first reseller posts about it, as soon as you find the first mini Gypsy on the pre-loved market, the price of the original Gypsy bags will also be increased, just because most people will become aware of the Gypsy family. And when that happens, obviously the pre-loved market will take advantage of that. So if you do want to get your hands on a Gypsy, maybe do it sooner rather than later. Obviously, as long as it's not a burden on you. I'm not trying to tell you to jump into buying something that you're not ready to buy. Would I ever buy a bag in brand new condition from the pre-loved market? I'm not exactly sure, unless your dream is to get your hands on a brand new bag, which is kind of counterintuitive to say that you're buying a brand new bag on the pre-loved market, but you know what I mean. Basically buying a bag in brand new condition from a reseller that also serves as a pre-loved seller, so something like Fashion File, who do sell, I think they call their bags giftable. If they say that it's in giftable condition, it basically means that it has virtually never been touched. It was bought in the boutique and almost immediately it was transferred to Fashion File, which are things that you can find. And I'm not sure if I would necessarily go down that route. I would much rather buy something that was heavily used, and by no means I'm saying to buy a bag that is falling apart and that is fully torn. But don't forget that Hermes can do some miracles. So if you buy a bag that has seen better days, it just needs an overall facelift. You can always take your bag back to Hermes and you can get it serviced, and they can really breathe some new life into a bag. Now, we will talk about what are the things that I would try to avoid, what are the things that I would look out for in a few minutes, so stay tuned for that. But if a bag just needs an overall facelift, you can always take it back to Hermes. It will cost you, but you can do that. And especially if you're saving quite a bit of money by buying a bag that is not in the best condition, you can then go ahead and put that money towards getting it spa'd. And then you can of course always buy gently used bags, which can save you quite a bit of money compared to buying a bag that is in brand new condition. If you buy a bag that was gently used, you can save thousands and thousands of dollars, which again, that money can be put towards getting the bag professionally cleaned by Hermes. Let's move on to some of the bags that I personally would not buy on the pre-loved market. And let's start with some of the bags that obviously you can find pre-loved, but it's not always the best idea to get them there, which let's start with some of the bags, specific bags that I wouldn't buy, which are any canvas Kelly bags and Birkin bags. So here I'm talking about the Birkin flag bags, talking about some of the Kelly bags that come in canvas with some leather trimming. I'm not necessarily talking about the her bag, which can be taken apart, but bags that have both leather and canvas elements to them, because don't forget that those pieces cannot be fully cleaned by Hermes. All they can do is spot clean. So if you are thinking about buying an Hermes bag on the pre-loved market, but then you know you'll take it into Hermes to have it cleaned, I don't want you to be shocked when Hermes turns you away. They can clean the leather parts and they can spot clean canvas bags, but they won't be able to clean the bag in its entirety. So you do have to keep that in mind, that canvas bags, unless it can be taken apart like the her bag, might not be the best thing to buy pre-loved. The same thing goes for shearling bags, so things like the Kelly Teddy, which obviously you can buy at auctions, but I would make sure that it is truly in pristine condition, because I'm not exactly sure how much the Hermes Spa would be able to do for you. And then also you have to keep the same thing in mind when it comes to just overall suede bags. So things like, not necessarily the Teddy Kelly, but things like the Grizzly AJC, the Grizzly Lindy, and the Grizzly Kelly and Birkins. Those are also things, just because the leather itself, suede, or as Hermes calls it, doubly, is so incredibly delicate. It really can, there isn't that much wiggle room for a craftsman to work with. So those are some of the bags that you might be better off just waiting for getting directly from the boutique, or buying one in truly pristine condition. These next bags you can definitely buy pre-loved, but you have to be prepared that you're going to be paying quite a bit of upcharge on these, which are going to be Hermes mini bags. Here I'm specifically talking about the mini Kelly, Kelly Pochette, Birkin, and Kelly 25s, and pretty much anything smaller. So even the discontinued tiny itty bitty Birkin and Kelly phone cases I would also include here, just because of the current trends. Obviously mini bags are the hottest thing right now, and as we discussed, Hermes's prices might be based on the amount of work and effort that goes into each one of their bags, but that's not the case when it comes to the pre-loved market, or especially not resellers, because they will base their prices based on the demand, and because these are the hottest thing right now, these bags are going to be the most expensive. So if you want to get your hand on a mini bag and you know for a fact that you're not able to get one directly from the boutique, just because these bags are so hard to get, going down the route of getting a bag pre-loved might be your only choice, and there's nothing wrong with it, because you do have to keep in mind that you would have to build quite a long relationship with the brand for you to qualify for one of these bags. So you can get them pre-loved, there's nothing wrong with that, but as I mentioned, you have to be prepared that you're going to be paying twice, if not three times the price of how much this bag would cost you directly from the store. And honestly, the same goes for trendy bags. Obviously, Hermes isn't the most trend-led brand. They almost create their own trends instead of following them, but they do have their own set of the hottest bags. And honestly, I would not buy any one of these bags pre-loved when they are hot. So let's take something like the Mini Lindy, for example. When that bag first launched, it was not only impossible to get from the boutique, but it was also just as difficult to get pre-loved. So whenever a new Mini Lindy popped up on the pre-loved market, it would be twice, if not three times, the original retail price. Whereas now, I mean, it's still a popular bag, but the craze has definitely died down. So now if you want to get one of those bags on the pre-loved market, you will still pay a little bit of an upcharge, but it's not going to be nearly as ridiculous as it was when these bags first dropped. So you can buy trendy pieces, but don't buy them at the peak of the trend. And now that we have discussed which are the bags that I would buy pre-loved and which are the ones that I would not, let's talk about what are the things that I would look out for, what are the things that would put me off of getting a bag, which there really aren't that many, honestly, because I would only go to trustworthy resources, so authenticity should never be a big question. And let's not forget that most things on an Hermes bag can be fixed and can be revived, except two things. There are two things that I would be really careful with. The first one is any issues with the handles, which I just have to say this, that yes, handles can be fixed and they can even be swapped if need be, but it is going to be an incredibly pricey fix, because those are some of the most time consuming and most expensive elements on an Hermes bag to create. So if you need to change the handles, if you need to fix them, it is going to cost you quite a bit of money. So I would be careful with any sort of handle issues unless you're getting the bag at an amazing price. Be careful with buying bags that have handles that you can tell need to be redone or refinished. And then the other thing that I would pay attention to is any sort of issues with the interior of the bag, because Hermes will not be able to service the lining of your bag. Almost anything on the outside of the bag can be fixed, but when it comes to the lining and the interior of the bag, it's not something that Hermes is willing to work on, which kind of makes sense, because why would they completely dissect a bag just so they can put it together from scratch? That would make no sense. They would pretty much have to give you a brand new bag, which they are not known for doing unless there is something majorly wrong with your bag. If they made a mistake somewhere, if your bag starts smelling, if it starts falling apart on its own, there might be a chance that they can give you a replacement bag. But if you bought a bag pre-loved that's been loved and used, unfortunately, they will not be able to completely replace your bag. So just keep that in mind. But anything else, I mean, pretty much everything else on an Hermes bag can be fixed. So let's say you find your dream bag, but it's a little bit more slouchy than you would want it to be, or it has some marks and scratches on the lining. Those are still things that can be fixed, not only by a craftsman, but there's something that you can do at home to give your bag a little bit of a facelift, which is investing in the right type of insert. You guys know that my favorite insert is the 7RP inserts, which I love because these inserts, they didn't just take a measuring tape to a bag, measure the dimensions, and based on those, they made an insert. But these were designed by an Hermes collector who knows these bags inside and out, and they not only wanted to create inserts that will give your bags the right amount of support from the inside out, but inserts that will actually elevate the user experience, which you can definitely tell. I mean, I call these inserts the Rolls Royce of bag inserts because there's really nothing out there that are quite like these in terms of the quality and in terms of what these will actually do for your bags. I mean, these have done some true miracles for my own bags when it comes to supporting them, making sure that my bags stay clean and neat. If you decide to buy a bag pre-loved, I would highly suggest investing in a 7RP insert, which this video is in no shape sponsored by 7RP. However, they were kind enough to help me host a giveaway for you guys. I think this might be the third giveaway that we're doing together, which is the perfect timing because the day that you're watching this video, I think is actually my 3-year YouTube anniversary. So if you've been with me for any amount of time, I hope you know how much I appreciate you. None of your views, your likes, your comments ever go unnoticed. I honestly cannot put into words how much I appreciate you guys, and I don't want to get emotional, so just thank you guys. And before I do that, why don't we talk about the giveaway? Well, there is one thing that I want to highlight here, which is that there have been some scams going around on YouTube, and I don't want you to fall into any traps. So I hope it's already clear, but if it's not, let me just say it here. I will never ask you guys to send me any money. I will never ask you to DM me, message me. I will never share my phone number online and ask you to text me on WhatsApp or on any weird apps. The only way for you to get in touch with me is via my email, which is going to be up on the screen here. And I will never, ever, ever ask you guys to pay for shipping or send me money or text me or anything along those lines. This is just something that I wanted to clarify. But if you get a weird message and you think it's from me, it's most likely not, but you can always check with me by sending me an email, and my one and only email address is going to be up on the screen here now. So I just wanted to clarify that because I would never want any one of you to be confused. But it couldn't be easier to enter the giveaway. All you have to do is be a subscriber of mine. So if you haven't, make sure you subscribe down below. Follow me on Instagram, which I will make sure to have my Instagram handle up on the screen now. Comment underneath this video what you would like to see from me in 2023, what videos or what series you would like me to bring back, or if there's a specific video that you would like me to do. Let me know in the comment section. And then last but not least, sign up to 7RP's newsletter, which, just to avoid any confusion, I will have a specific link in the info box for you. So that's the only one link you have to click on. There isn't anything else that you have to do. And if you would like to find that link and you don't know how to get to my info box, there's a little show more button underneath this video that you can click on, and that will open up my entire description box with a single link in there. I will not be sharing any more links in the comment section. There's just that one single link in the info box for you. So it couldn't be any more simple. All you have to do is be a subscriber of mine, follow me on Instagram, comment down below what video you'd like to see from me in 2023, and sign up to 7RP's newsletter, which of course is completely free, by using the link in my description box. And the winner will be announced in a video like this in a few weeks at the beginning of January, and the winner will have the chance to choose an insert, whatever insert they would like from the 7RP site, for whatever bag they would like an insert for in whatever color they feel suits them best. And of course, you'll have me to answer all your questions and help you out in any way that I can. But that is the giveaway. Again, it couldn't be any more simple, and I'm just so grateful that I'm able to do this for you guys with 7RP. So a huge shout out and a huge thank you to 7RP. I do have an ongoing relationship with them. I have an ongoing discount code with 7RP, which is always in my info box. But again, this video is in no shape being sponsored by them. So a big thank you to 7RP, and most importantly to you guys for all your support. And this actually brings us to the end of today's video on what Hermes bags I would and I wouldn't buy on the pre-loved market, and how you can get your dream Hermes bags without virtually any wait. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any feedback for me, leave them in the comment section. And if you would like the chance to win the 7RP insert of your dreams, you can find all the entry requirements in the info box. But I really appreciate you guys being here and watching, not just today, but any day you tune in. And I hope to see you back here with a new video really soon.